Hi everyone, so here we are beginning and dropping into a whole new year. And the thing is with a new year, absolutely is a new opportunity full of new possibilities. But one of the things that quite often people find is that as you begin that new year, it's almost like it's an odd feeling, kind of feel a bit odd, a little bit kind of almost fragmented, a flat feeling, a feeling of feeling kind of empty or feeling of feeling lost. It's kind of like arriving the other side of a very long weekend and having that Monday morning feeling, but that kind of enhanced, all the excitement of Christmas is beginning to fade, and we're beginning to kind of drop back into a normal routine. But here's the thing, is that quite often life moves way too quickly, way too fast. Modern living is way too quick, way too fast. And a lot of it is based on doing rather than being. We've kind of got to do this, we've got to do that, we've got to get here, we've got to kind of meet this demand, we've got to meet that demand. We're juggling so much within our lives. And I think the thing to do right now actually is to stop, pause, and these are the kind of keys. These are the things that have, over the years for me, have had so much kind of worth and so much gold that I've been able to take from them. The thing to do is literally right now is go and get a pen and paper. Kind of pause, go and get a pen and paper, hit the pause button. And once you've got that pen and paper, is kind of take a moment, go in within, yeah? And what you want to do is you want to ask yourself right now, what is your emotional needs? What are your emotional needs right now? And write them down. Begin to write them down. Then take a moment, think about, feel, what are your physical needs right now? What are your physical needs right now? Write them down. And even what are your spiritual needs? Yet again, write them down. What that does is that begins to put you in touch with what's going on in here. Modern living is all about output. What we kind of lose touch with is input. So if I kind of look at those questions for myself right now, what are my emotional needs? Well, my emotional needs, actually, I feel kind of quite whole. I feel quite content. I feel quite happy. It's not always been the case in life, but one thing that I've really kind of done over these last 10 days, during the time I kind of stopped working, stopped consulting, right the way up into the new year, I've kind of put myself really in touch with my kind of emotional needs. I've kind of slept a little bit longer, which is also a physical need, slept a bit longer, kind of spent some really quiet time, some real gentle time, jumping on the bike every day, taking short but kind of quite a vigorous ride. All those things kind of have supported me to kind of reset and put me back in touch with myself. So, what are your emotional needs? What are your physical needs? What are your spiritual needs? These things are really kind of important, that we don't just, get to our holidays. We don't just get to our weekends off. We don't just get to Christmas to kind of reset. What we want to do is try and come from all of this in a way and from a space that we are continuously meeting those needs. As I say, over the last kind of 10 days, I kind of, again, I've kind of stopped, paused, reflected, turned my focus from output back into input. And what we need to try and do is live within that way, live in a way that can be more balanced in life, because it tends not to be. And one of the things that I've kind of, really took value from is some very, very simple things. So, as I say, if I look at my kind of emotional needs, I know they're met. If I look at my physical needs, is I know that I need to kind of look at as I move forward, kind of resetting some of what I'm eating. You know, some of the nutrition has lacked over these last 10 days. I'm eating way too much Christmas cake, way too much mince pies, but you know, it's a part of the time, part of the experience. But as I go forward, I need to drink more water, less alcohol. I need to kind of eat more fruit, more vegetables, less Christmas cake, less mince pies. You know, but it's also making that a priority, and taking the time to do it. You know, I hear people say, you know, but I don't have the time to cook. You know, nowadays there's so much resources online that actually you can go and find, you know, so many amazing meal plans that are fully nutritious that only take 15-20 minutes to cook. You know, half an hour, 40 minutes to cook for a family. You know, I think that if we can't input, say, an hour a day, an hour and a half a day within our lives back to us, then there's something absolutely wrong. And the question I would say is that how long can you then sustain that before you kind of crash, burn out, or get to a point where you can't continue, you know? And that's the cycle so many of us live with, is that output, burnout, reset, output, burnout, reset. You know, what we gently want to do is try and find that balance. Some of the ways that I begin to, for me, over the years have learned, and I've learned the hard way at times, is that, you know, actually simple things like Himalayan sea salts, bathing with them. I tend to shower with them, and what they do is they kind of cleanse the body, but also they kind of cleanse the auric field, so to speak. You know, you kind of come out of that feeling a lot lighter. It really does detoxify, and kind of cleanses and detoxifies the aura and the auric field as well. I kind of wash myself with the Himalayan sea salts, and then I finish my shower for about a minute and a half, completely cold water. What that does, that sounds horrific. What that does is that really kind of gets the blood moving through the body. It strengthens the immune system. But some of the other things that it do, and they've kind of researched this, that those people that go wild swimming, those people that kind of go wild swimming out within nature, is one of the things they've discovered is that it releases endorphins. The cold water kind of stimulates the body. It also releases endorphins, which is the good chemicals. You know, January can be a very strange month for a lot of people. You know, it's still kind of dark, but actually if you kind of look out the window, you'll see that gone 4 o'clock now, and it's still light. So it is now 10 past 4, okay, and as you can see, there's still light out the window. It was before Christmas time, you know, only a couple of weeks ago, it was getting dark before 4 o'clock, okay, so already the days are getting longer. Things are moving, things are changing. So yes, finishing that shower routine with cold water, try these things, you know. The other thing that I've woven into my life is I cycle, and as I go forwards, I'll be cycling again every day. You know, for the cost of a pair of trainers, a cost of a waterproof jacket, a cost of a bike. And the other thing is, if those of you are thinking about cycling or taking up cycling, is that come January, the end of January, the market is going to be flooded with second-hand bikes. All those people who bought bikes or been given bikes for a Christmas present and then decide it's not for them. So towards the end of January, you're always going to pick up a deal. Also, a brand new bike sales, you're going to pick up a deal. I'm telling you, it's one of the greatest investments here. Get you out. You know, there's people that join a gym. I would always say to you, let nature be your gym, you know, because actually you're going to see more, you're going to feel more, you're going to experience more by being out there within nature. And if it isn't kind of cycling, maybe it's walking, maybe it's running, you know. At that level, for a cost of a pair of boots or a cost of a pair of trainers, it's probably one of the greatest investments that you can give yourself. The important thing is become inspired by these things, not purely motivated. Motivated is what gets you out of bed in the morning. That's your 10 alarm clocks in the morning to get you out. Inspired by what you do means that it's going to be kind of consistent. And what we're after is gentle consistency. So don't set yourself up to fail, set yourself up to win, okay? Some of my other videos I talked about when I had to learn to walk again. And one of the things that time really taught me is that it's not about kind of trying to go from here to 50 miles. It's about going, right, you know what, I'm going to cycle 2 miles a day, and I'm going to do that for the next couple of weeks, and I'm going to kind of double that, and then I'm going to double that, and before you know it, you're doing longer and bigger miles. It's always setting yourself up realistically to always win. And it's not about perfection, it's about progression. So you kind of have a day where you're like, no, I didn't quite achieve that. Know that you can reset. Tomorrow's another opportunity, but it's always about progression, not perfection. And the other thing is, you can say, well, I'm going to wait for the weather to improve. No. You'll find that actually going out for a walk or run or even a cycle within the rain, you'll come back and you will feel alive. The other thing it does, it gives you space. I'm always saying that, miles on my meditation. It means that I'm dropping back into my own kind of space, and the thing that really greatly has always given me is that, if I'm trying to figure out a solution, or I'm kind of working with a new project, I can guarantee by the end of that ride, normally I've got the answer, because what you're doing is giving yourself space. And actually what you'll find is then that rubs off on everybody within your world, because you'll reset. There's more of you to give. I'm always saying that we want to come from a place where we're feeling more whole, more complete, more full, and then that just kind of almost spills over and then rubs off on everyone around you. So here's some thoughts that as we move into January, quite often it does feel like we've got a flat battery, it's like anti-climax, Christmas has gone and what now? Actually, there's so much that we can bring into our world as we go forwards, but set yourself up to win, not fail. Realistic expectations for the price of a pair of trainers and a second-hand bike. You probably find that is one of the best doctors you can ever have. Out within nature, rather than stuck or cooped up into a gym that is costing you membership that you're not going to use beyond the end of January. Things to consider. And the other thing is, know those days are getting longer, okay? So, it can be a bit of a strange time, but it's about kind of meeting it and very gently always setting yourself up to win. There you go, guys. Some of my thoughts as we move into a new year. Cheers, guys. Speak soon. Bye-bye.